Well, someone you and I have both met in the past. Kanye West.
Oh, yeah.
He has gone all the way left field, where he actually made a song about giving his male cousin head at age 14. His cousin, I think, was like 11 or something.
Right.
I guess I listened to the song again yesterday, just so I can get a reference point.
You go too far, man. You might go too far.
He basically talked about how him and his cousin found some gay magazines, and they started to act out. And the weird part is everyone was looking at him like he's the victim, when he was the dude that was actually molesting his younger cousin.
You know what it is, man, with Kanye? Kanye got good music, bro. Like I said, he came a long way, because I remember him being in the studio with Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
And at that point, I didn't know who he was. And now look at him now.
Yeah.
He's like one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah. That particular song does not qualify as good music, by the way.
I think people just want to get the music. They seen you in a Klan suit. They seen you disrespect a whole religion. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's like, yo, like I said, my lawyer's Jewish. I like Jewish people. I don't spread hate towards anybody, because you never know what somebody else went through. That's just the way I was raised.
Yeah, shout out to Jew Unit.
Yeah, shout out to the Jew Unit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like Paul Rosenberg, everybody. Like,
yeah.
I had good times with these guys. And so it's like, for me, I don't disrespect any race or anybody, because it's not godly. Like, God wouldn't want you to do that anyway. You know, we know the Jesus walk, Kanye. Get back to that. Be a God-fearing man. You know, rest in peace to your moms. You know, I know sometimes maybe it might hurt, or sometimes people go through stuff, because losing parents is a big loss, man. Lost my dad, you know what I'm saying? Still got my mom.
Yeah, me too.
So, you know, I'm blessed for that. But sometimes people go through it, but it's not an excuse to spew hate. It's not an excuse to let people down, because a lot of them Jewish people bought your sneakers. Look, a lot of the Jewish kids you said was dance to your music at bar mitzvahs.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you get to a certain point in life, you should just be happy that God blessed you and put you in that position. Because there was people that would beg to get to the position you was at. You know what I'm saying? And you had an ill team. You had Virgil making fucking Mercedes-Benz. You had fucking John Monopoly, a big man. You know what I'm saying?
He's still around.
Yeah, I know he's still around him.
John Monopoly.
But what I'm saying, you had dudes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, I guess he used
I remember John Monopoly, it was funny, because I love him.
Yeah,
but I remember he was like, yo, he was supposed to manage me.
Oh, really?
And then he called me. He was like, yo, man, I can't manage you because of Jimmy Henchman. That shit was kind of funny.
What was his problem with Jimmy Henchman?
He just didn't want the problem.
Oh.
But that was funny. So when I say his name, shout out to him. But he ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, shout out to John,
that's my
man.
guy.
No, that's my guy too.
But I understand, like, sometimes people don't want to take problems. I understand. Just like people don't want to really sign the drill rappers.
Yeah.
Or when you go places, they be like, because I was the problem.
Well, at least he was honest with you, though.
No, he was.
That's the thing about John that's different than most of these other, like, you know, entertainment guys.
No,
he'll actually tell you the real reason.
And look, he wasn't soft. He's a street dude. So it was just like, but why take on the problem for something that is working, but will it work for you? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I remember John Monopoly back then.
Yeah. So at this point, would you say that Kanye's gay?
I would say Kanye's always saying something crazy. Like when my album dropped, his album dropped that same year, and I'll never forget it, because that's when he was like, George Bush is racist. He's just a media guy. Whatever he says, people's gonna check it, and either you're gonna hate it or you love it. It's gonna always be in the press. I think sometimes people get tired of it, and that's it, you know?
Well, he brought up the whole thing when Graduation, you know, went head to head with 50's second album.
Yeah, but then he said he wanted to be friends with 50.
Yeah, because he said, "Oh, I turned
so
50
we don't
cents
know,
to 25 cents." But then he said, "I wish I was friends with 50, one of my favorite rappers and people."
Yeah, so you know,
and he said, "It's just certain people, 50, Drake, Demna, they're all kings in their own kingdoms, but somewhere inside of a trip of nitrous town, everybody's laughing, creating together."
I mean, listen, it's all good. Whatever he say, I don't want to talk about 50, but my whole thing is like, for me, I'm looking at it like, yo, you're one of the biggest artists in the world. Why spew hate? You've been blessed. A lot of people don't get blessed in life. A lot of people don't get the opportunities that you have. Yeah. Why fuck it up? Why spew hate against anybody, any religion?
Yeah.
Because music is something that breaks barriers. You go to some of these countries, Morocco and all that, and all these places, and shout to 50 because he got a big tour coming overseas. You go to these places, they don't even understand English, but they know the music. You know what I'm saying?